We are in the amidst of media and information revolution. Media presence we have seen in the couple of presentation and last 2 weeks time. The media presence, information penetration, the role of audience and the role of audience in the new technology. Large level of our exposure to the media and information is shaping and molding our knowledge and opinion system and even particularly our way of life. And this kind of a new normal media environment, it's quite required for individuals and many institutions, particularly for individual members of the society, to tackle the media and the information presence. And there's a large growing influence of social media in the current scenario, particularly influential disinformation and information. Popularly, these are called fake news. These kind of misinformation, disinformations are being organized, as well as a lot of viral campaigns are being carried out with a kind of certain agenda, with a certain motive towards certain goals. And in this context, the role of and media information literacy becomes a life support kind of skills in the contemporary social scenario. The earlier slides, earlier presentations and earlier study materials, you might have come across the definitions of media information literacy, the growth of media information literacy in the Indian context, and how best media information literacy can play a role in sustainable development goals. Because in this course, we are trying to understand the relationship between individual contribution along with the media environment to achieve 2030 target and goals of sustainable development goals. Individuals with a proper communication technological support can be part of the communication system that can reach the wider audience. The individual can give a voice to voiceless. The media information may not be able to provide the road, may not be able to provide the water, may not be able to provide the city infrastructure, but the information can play a role, can supplement the awareness, it create a kind of environment in which individual can play a role, active role, be part of the nation building. Because compared to Millennium Development Goals, it was targeted towards institutions' role in achieving human standards. In a sustainable development goals, seeking participation of every member of the society, be a government, public sector, private sector and individuals. Since with the advent of communication information technology, individual can play a role. So in this context only, the media information literacy play an important role of creating awareness among the individuals how to handle the media information system for betterment of the society. And this is a context because we have plenty of media and information presence, and with a reduced or lack of ethical values or responsibilities to the social order among the institutionalized media and information providers and user generated content generators, the whole media ecology intends to create a havoc in certain quarters. Not everybody is playing this kind of mischievous role, but certain quarters, certain players deliberately playing a role, individuals, a group of individuals, small group, misusing the media ecology to create a havoc in the society. So in this context, the media information literacy plays a crucial role in that. The common media users, be it mainstream media or online digital platform, they have two level of strategies while accessing, handling, understanding, utilizing and participating in the media information system. One, to be fully aware about the institutionalized media and information providers' intention, motive, agenda, frame and factors while packaging their delivery. Because every communication provider, every information provider, they provide the messages, they provide the information with a certain intention, with a certain motives. As an audience, as a user, as a reader, as a listener, we have to be more careful, fully aware about their intention, their motive, their agenda. If we come to know about the agenda, it's easy for us to resist the pressure comes to us to mold our opinion. And secondly, to ability to tackle the onslaught of organized and viral campaigns. One, from the institutional push towards the societies to the individual members, we have to be very careful about the intention of the media providers, information providers. Secondly, to tackle the viral campaigns to spread the misinformation and disinformation. This is a one level of handling the media information. Second part is how to handle it in a better way. For that, we need proper competency and skill sets to utilize the media platform, particularly technology enabled media platform of the best example is ICT enabled digital media. So these are the some of the strategies the common media uses to handle in the current scenario. Many big and information providers, many big media and information providers and players are already in the training level. They started providing media education, digital literacy training to many sections of the society, particularly to tackle the fake news. And many efforts are being taken by the public sector and private sector institutions to provide digital literacy, computer literacy, information literacy, which are aims to familiarize the hardware and software dimension of computing and mobile devices. All these efforts, literacy efforts, be it the technology companies or media companies or government or public sector institutions, these literacy efforts need to be contextualized within the holistic approach of MIL competency training framework, because the common users access, understanding and participation is greatly enhanced compared to last 10 years earlier history. Earlier, the mainstream media provides very limited scope for the audience to participate. We have to consume whatever is being given to us. But now we have better environment for participating in the communication system, from the top vertical communication to the horizontal and equal level of communication process. In the contemporary media information literacy training, special emphasis and high priority is being given to the media and information training for marginalized and disadvantaged people. This is being continuously repeated in multiple national, international policies, media and information policies. You will come across this point in the next week media policy presentation as well as the literature, because the marginalized and disadvantaged people have difficulty to access, one due to affordability, a lack of competency, lack of skills. Special provisions needs to be created either by the public sector, private sector and the media companies or individuals to facilitate these people comes from the marginalized vulnerable section to utilize the media information system for their betterment. If you look at the global level, the media education training and intervention across the global scenarios is being uneven, not equally standardized. There are many reasons there for that. In certain countries, there is an advanced level of training standards, particularly in the Europe, North America and Australia. The reason is the last 2-3 decades, right from the day the television and print media took a larger role to play in the society, they started educating the younger audience through the school education to empower the people how to handle the media. In certain countries, ML policy, media information literacy policy is not in a structured format. There is a lack of clarity on implementation. Though they have a system, they have educational understanding, there is a need, people are willing to train them, but lack of textbook, lack of training, lack of policy, that's prevented them to go into further into training the needy people. The third level is country lacks MIL policy altogether. There is no discussion, no policy document, no groundwork is being created to provide the basic media education platform. So if you look at the global scenario, There are 3 levels of training standards being practiced across the continents: advanced level, unstructured, lack of clarity in certain countries, and no MIL policy at all at many countries like that. So, the 3 levels of media training is happening. In this background, this presentation, we are going to trace the historical development of global agenda on providing media and information training in different segments. How the media education got introduced, what is the significance of media education in the social context, and how it got related with the development of new media platforms. Actually, it started with the 1982 media education declaration happened in a German city, Grunwald. Then 1990 in France about new directions of media education. Then 1999 is about educating for the media and digital age in Vienna. In 2003, it's a Prague declaration towards an information literacy society. Then 2005, information literacy and lifelong learning declaration. In 2011, then again the media literacy recommendation emphasized the lifelong learning and information literacy. In 2012, Moscow Declaration and 2014 Paris Declaration were specifically talking about media literacy in the digital era. If you look at the whole historical background, 1980 to 2014, the entire global agenda or global focus, global discussion on media education focused towards the development of media platform and parallelly media education system. In 1982 declaration talked about the importance of television and print media. Then 1919 talked about, they started 1998, the Vienna declaration talked about introduction of ICT based media platform. In Moscow and Paris declaration completely talking about how ICT enabled medium and the mainstream medium needs to be tackled, needs to be streamlined in the media education system. We will take up the individual declaration. These are historical development. These declaration, understanding this declaration will help you to figure out the growth of media information literacy over the period last 30 years, 35 years of history of media information literacy. This will give a better understanding of handling the media information literacy topic of week 3. In a Grunwald declaration on media education 1982, it talked about, it gave emphasis on developing knowledge, skills, attitudes, which will encourage the growth of critical awareness and consequently greater competency among the users of electronic media and print media. In 1982, if you look at the period 1982, it was a period of television and print media. Even in Indian context, we got a color television, we got a magazine boom around that time. The massive growth of television, massive growth of magazines happened that period of time, 1982. That exactly matching with the media education. That's a historically look at that. UNESCO supported this media education declaration. It's a starting point of the media information literacy stream, and it started focusing that there is a growth, there is an importance of electronic and print media. This needs to be handled in a better way. The school and the family system shares a lot of responsibility of preparing young persons for living in the world of powerful images, words and sounds. These 3 are very crucial in molding somebody's opinion and knowledge system. Children, particularly young adults, need to know, need to have a knowledge, need to know the literacy of how to handle these 3 powerful media elements: images, words and sounds. These are symbolic system. These 3 represent symbolic system, and in order to train the children and young adults, steps is required, some kind of reassessment of educational priorities needed. That was the understanding in 1982 to tackle the television and print media influence in the society. The children and young adults need to know the literacy, need to know the knowledge, need to know the competency to tackle the role of images, role of words, role of sounds. So, that they suggest that the declaration suggested that the educational reassessment in terms of integrated approach to teach the language and communication in the school curriculum. That was a major recommendation in 1982. And they recommended that a comprehensive media education program has to be initiated in a younger level, those age group that falls under children and young adults. In order to introduce a comprehensive media education system to tackle the television and print media, the proper training courses for the teacher needs to be identified. Because in order to teach the students, we need a kind of trainers. The teacher has to be primarily trained. That was the felt need in 1982. We have to rearrange the educational priorities. We have to train the young and young adults, and through comprehensive media education program. In order to facilitate the comprehensive media education system, we need the trainers. The teachers are the potential main players. So, first priority is to introduce a program and train the teachers. And also parallelly, the importance of television, importance of print media, importance of three powerful elements, images, text and sound, needs to be analyzed, needs to be researched from multiple perspectives. This is another recommendation from 1982 declaration. From multiple media stream, multiple academic streams, from psychology, from sociology, from communication science. So, in order to understand the holistic influence of media, particularly television and print media. So, 1982 started the major recommendation of reassessing the educational priorities by introducing comprehensive media education program, and facilitated by this training program facilitated by the trained teachers. Then came 1990 France declaration that talks about new directions in the media education. In 1982, they put the foundation to reassess the educational priorities. In 8 years after that, 1990, new international committee was convened with the help of UNESCO to identify the new direction in the media, because by the 8 years time, in the Europe, in the Australia, in the countries in the Europe and Australia started tremendous efforts, initiated the tremendous efforts to introduce a media education in a multiple level of secondary and tertiary education level. So, by the time 8 years of experience, they wanted to know the situation and they wanted to take it forward to the next level. So, that was the main reason behind this 1990 France declaration on new directions in media education. Particularly talking about this declaration of 1990 talked about creating a new curriculum guidelines. In 1982, it emphasized that the educational reassessment, providing comprehensive media education program. In 8 years of multiple experiences, in 1990 they felt that a kind of guideline, curriculum guideline, there is no curriculum framework, it is a curriculum guideline nationally or regionally that will help the education institutions to standardize the training. That was a major recommendation of 1990. And the second recommendation is about teacher training programs. As it was emphasized in 1982, the media education training can be provided to the large chunk of child and young adults through the school education, through the teachers. In order to take it further, the curriculum guideline needs to be identified, and we need the discipline needs demarcated, clear-cut teacher training programs, standardized teacher training programs in the university level. This is not a degree program in journalism or broadcasting or media department. The declaration specifically said that the degree program should be placed in the educational department with a specific specialization or major in media studies, training the teachers within the context of educational condition, educational environment, the declaration not recommended the degree in journalism, rather they recommended a degree program in the educational background specialized in media studies, curriculum guideline and a comprehensive teacher training program. And along with this curriculum and teacher training program, and they recommended teacher support to support to the in-service educational program, summer training courses, national seminars, conferences, in order to exchange the experience among the stakeholders. And providing, the fourth recommendation is providing educational resources for teachers, curriculum guideline and proper framework training, university level training, and teachers support, networking support. And the fourth one is to provide educational resources, writing and publishing textbook, lesson plans, activity sheets, video and other audio video materials to support the comprehensive media education program in the educational settings. The next major achievement happened in the media information literacy, the growth of media information literacy in a historical perspective. 1982, the first declaration identified the reassessment. In 1990, with 8 years of experience, they recommended new directions. In 1999, in Vienna, they made a declaration with the support of UNESCO under the broad headline of educating for the media and digital age. See the difference, the shift of focus from 1982 to 1999. 1982 talked about print and electronic media, particularly television. In 1999, it talked about educating for the media and digital age. 1995 only, the World Wide Web was introduced, and it because in capability for networking and interactivity, digital media had always a strong edge over the mainstream media. So that, with that background of digital media platform was introduced in the 1995. In 1999 meeting in Vienna talked about media literacy in the context of digital age, and they emphasized that media education is about teaching and learning with and about media rather than through media. So they had the media education training has to go along with the media practices. It involves media training, involves critical analysis and creative participation, creative production. It can support the support and should take place in formal and informal settings. It promotes a sense of community and social responsibility as well as individual self-fulfillment. In the educating for the media and in digital age of 1999 declaration, it talked about media education can assist the citizen to recognize the potential of the media, of their representation or misrepresentation, because here with the help of new technology they can reassess in case the particular culture or particular social segment or community not represented or misrepresented. The audience can take efforts to rectify that imbalance with the help of new technology. That was a recommendation from 1999, because this understand the role of new technology in those period. And particularly second recommendation talk about media education should be aimed at empowering all citizens of every society. It talked about inclusive society, because the ICT information technology based medium started invading the society. Since it's technology based, it needs competency and skill set, and it's not easily affordable, and created a kind of digital divide. So in 1999, the declaration recommended that the media education should take care about empowering all the citizens of every segment of the society. In 2003, it talked about information literacy society. Information literacy society in the sense, with the help of new media technology, with the help of internet, user or audience can extract information from any available online resources, extracting, handling, storing, retrieving information, or the skill sets associated with the information society. This skill sets required for an individual throughout the life. So in this 2003, Prague Declaration, they declared that the information literacy has to be incorporated in the educational settings. Not only school education should be in the lifelong learning settings, because that enables individuals to carry forward the skill set throughout the life setting. So, there is a shift in media education, media information literacy towards information handling, information storing and participating in the information sector, and training extended beyond the school education to the lifelong settings. Next major development happened in 2005 and 2011. In the two major international meet recommended and stressed the need for information literacy in the context of new media and information technology. They again reiterated that the lifelong learning has to be incorporated with the media information literacy training. In 1982 and 1990, 1999 talked about reassessment of school education meant for young and children, young adults, but in the later stage in 2005 and 2011 media information literacy declaration supported the lifelong learning and more emphasis given on information literacy due to the advent of information technology and introduction of digital media platform in the society. In 2012 and 2014 declaration, 2012 is about Paris and 2012 is Moscow and 2014 is about Paris Declaration on media information literacy in digital era. Particularly in the Paris Declaration talked about addressing the issues of access, privacy, safety and security of individuals dealing with information media and technology in line with the human rights standards. And another major recommendation from Paris Declaration, that's 2014, many countries have got a large chunk of internet users. So, the media information literacy primarily talked about handling the media information system. So, within the context they talked about privacy, access, safety and security and advanced content creation using the multiple media elements. Another recommendation came from personal and professional lifelong development with regard to handling the media information system. The lifelong learning and information literacy is being reiterated in the multiple international declarations. And the media literacy curriculum has to be standardized. A kind of quality improvements needs to be introduced in the schools and lifelong learning context. And to promote the information literacy, people with the special needs, and this is being regularly repeated in multiple international meet, the marginalized and vulnerable section usually neglected in every part of the social life. The special care has to be taken by the education institutions or government departments or public sector initiatives while dealing with the media information training. The special provision has to be given to the special needs, particularly indigenous people in the marginalized and vulnerable sections. In the whole presentation, we talked about the growth of media education, media training, information literacy over the period of time starting from 1982, talked about how to handle the television and print media. In 1999, introduced a digital era, how to dealing with the information literacy in 2003 and 2005. With the advent of information technology, 2011 and 2014 declaration talked about more participation, safety, security and content creation, more specific information, more specific importance being given to the vulnerable and marginalized sections of society. Thank you.